Hey everyone, welcome back to Teenage Therapy. I'm Gael,
I'm Thomas.
I'm Mark.
I'm Kayla.
and welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we overshare on the internet, give our opinions on things that no one needs our opinion on, and then hope you enjoy it.
Yep.
Yes.
So if this sounds like a type of podcast for you, then you found it. Yeah, because sometimes I realize that there's probably a lot of new people that listen every episode and they were just like making inside jokes. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh.
So yeah, welcome. It's kind of ironic because I'm on a podcast where I openly share my feelings and I talk about how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. Yet something I really, really struggle with are intimacy issues. Intimacy issues. Yeah. I'm not exactly even sure what that means, but I started noticing that I will never bring up my feelings just to bring up my feelings. Like sometimes people would just be like, hey, can I talk to you? Like, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, I've just been feeling so upset recently. Like, I think I'm like, whoa, I would never do that. Like me just going up to someone and be like, hey, like, I've been feeling really down recently. Like, that's so foreign to me. Like, even if people ask how I'm doing, I'll be like, fine. Like, I don't even see it as an option that I could tell people how I'm feeling. So it's really weird for me now being on this podcast where I actually need to talk about like what I'm feeling. And even then I tend to like not really share that much. Like I share, but I feel like I share an analysis of my feelings rather than my actual feelings.
What do you mean by that?
That the things I share on this podcast isn't my emotions and my deep feelings and how I like feel. It's more like the aftermath of after I've processed it, after I've like thought about it, after I felt it. I'm like, okay, now here's the breakdown of how it made me feel, but not necessarily the feelings in itself. A lot of the issues that I do have strong feelings about, I just don't talk to them until after I've analyzed them, which I think is kind of normal either way. But yeah. Personally, I've noticed I have very big intimacy issues in friendships as well. And I think that's why I find it so hard to be friends with people or close friends with people, because I don't know. I don't feel like I connect with people in that like emotional way. And so I always probably feel like really distant and cold to other people because they're like, how I don't ever know how you're feeling. I'm like, I'm sorry. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think we're polar opposites. Like whenever we're dating and stuff. You never opened up. I always opened up. I still am a very vulnerable person to everybody. I like being intimate with people. I think that's how you build special connections, and that's kind of like the fundamentals for like friendships. And if you don't share how you're feeling about stuff, and if you can't open up about what you're going through and, you know, what's going on in your life, then the other person won't really know who you are. And yeah, I think I had the opposite of intimacy issues, whatever that is. Like maybe oversharing.
Issues.
But yeah, I see that in you and Kayla.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like before, it used to be like really bad where it's like I just want to share like anything about myself. And then I was thinking about like recently, and I think I'm like halfway now, or I see improvement at least. Like I'm usually not one to like approach somebody and be like, hey, can we talk, because I'm having like a hard time or whatever. I just tend to like keep to myself, but I feel like there's certain people that I can go to just like talk about my feelings. And that's just like very close friends. Like right now I can probably think of like 2 or 3, and Tom said that was like one of them, but like 2 or 3 people that I can like go to and I'll actually like say what's on my mind, like things that I don't even want to admit to myself. That's the scary part. Because then it's like once you say it out loud, then it's out there, you know, like people can perceive it however they want to. But yeah, it's definitely hard. It makes me uncomfortable. Still does sometimes. Even if I'm like super close with them, it just makes me uncomfortable sometimes. I think it's just like talking about my feelings. It's something I've obviously gotten better at it, but it's still a little weird for me at times.
It's really weird though, because I feel so disconnected from people because I can't share my feelings openly with them. It's kind of like there's like, I almost see it as like I'm looking, like I'm inside my head looking through my perspective, if that makes sense.
Like a different perspective?
Yeah, like if it's
I'm
like
seeing
two
you right
different
now.
people. Like I don't know. Sometimes when I'm like talking with someone and like
Yeah.
I find myself just being so like shallow and just like not opening up in any way. And I could, in the back of my head, I see myself acting this way. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you just share how you're actually feeling? But I still remain so shallow. Like,
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. It's like sometimes like somebody will tell me something that's like, you know, going on like in their lives or whatever, and I don't necessarily like feel comfortable sharing like about my own experiences. So then I think like they probably think I'm just like a robot or something.
Yeah.
Like they're not able to like fully connect with me. Like, do you think that you can't share because either like you don't fully trust the person, or is it just because it makes you uncomfortable?
It just makes me uncomfortable. Like I don't know how to do it. I'll be in my head having like a full-on discussion about how I feel, and I have like such a like way to, I could articulate it perfectly well in my head, my feelings, but I can't ever say them because they just disappear. I'm like, I don't even know. Like I don't know. Like I just don't know. I can't share them. I can't share my feelings, but I don't think it's about a trust issue. It just feels weird. It's unnatural. But yeah, like sometimes I see people like sharing with me and like being very vulnerable and open, and usually that's a sign that like you can be open too, and that makes like really special moments. Oh my god, here's the thing. Look,
you're gonna ruin the special moment.
I know. Okay, I don't know how to word this, but this is something that like I'm so mad at myself for. There's been so many moments in my life where if I open up, it would make room for really, really good communication, and it would bring out feelings that are really important to share, and it would probably leave me feeling very connected with the other person, and it would be a lot of growth. But I can't bring myself to open up. I can't do it. And then after, I just like, I purposely lead myself out of that situation. Like, you know, there's moments where like the conversation starts to get like, especially on one-on-ones, the conversation starts to get like a lot more intimate, and everyone's kind of sharing their feelings, and you're like, oh, you know, like, yeah, I feel this way too. I feel this. Oh, you know, and then like it leaves that room for like to go deeper. I don't allow myself to go deeper than that. Like I just pull back and I'm like, okay. When I could like actually share what I'm actually thinking. And those moments are really frustrating because afterwards I'll leave feeling like so unsatisfied. Like, it would have been nice to like be able to share my feelings on how I actually feel, but I just can't. I can't do it. Like I get scared.
Why do you think you like create that barrier in your head?
I'm scared. I'm scared of sharing my feelings and genuinely sharing how I feel about situations. I'm scared of that intimacy with the other person. And I have come to realize that I'm also not very good at having intimacy if it isn't with like a romantic partner. Like with friends and stuff, like I find it really hard to be intimate because I think now my brain associates like intimacy only for romantic partners and surface level relations and conversations for like just friends. So that's another reason why I'm like scared of opening up, because it feels wrong. Like it's too vulnerable. It's too intimate. It feels really weird.
Wait, that I didn't know you only saw it with like relationships and not like friendships. So then do you feel like all your friends are just surface level?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think all like most of the friendships I've had have always been like surface level.
To you, or do you think it's also surface level to them?
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt if it's also like surface level to everyone around me, because I simply just like don't share like my feelings or intimate. Okay, the bad thing about intimacy issues is that I also don't share my love and appreciation for people. So it's not even just about me feeling like sad and I want to tell them about it. It's also like me feeling love for them, but just not being able to do it, and I'm being too scared to show it. And that's also what leaves me very disconnected, because I don't show my appreciation and then they might think I don't appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
So that happens a lot with intimacy issues, and that's why like I think I have a hard time making close friends, and they all kind of stay surface level.
Do you like that?
No, like I see other people in my life that have like no issue showing love to their friends. Like they'll hug them, they'll be like, "Oh my god, I love you so much." Like, "Yes, take care." Like, "I love you so much," right?
Yeah.
Like, "Good night." Like they'll text them. They'll use like very, very, very emotional language and like show their appreciation physically and like verbally. And I just can't I can't do that. I don't know. It's something that I hope to be able to do better in the future, but right now it's like just really.
I mean, have
scary.
you like done anything to like try to take a step towards that, or is it right now just like in your head that like you need to do something but you just can't seem to act on it?
Yeah, I know I need to do something, but I just can't seem to act on it.
No, it's hard.
When did this
It's
start? When did you start feeling this?
I feel like I've always been this way. I just recently like became aware of the
Why
fact that it was
recently?
happening. What?
Why recently?
I don't know, because recently I felt like I just started to think like, why is it that the only times I've had like close like intimate connections with people have been when it's with a romantic partner? I find it hard to have a one-on-one intimate relationship with someone that like I'm not dating. If it's a group, like I feel like we've had rough conversations, very intimate conversations as a group, and that feels a lot less scary than one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like if we come into a room right now and we all start like sharing our appreciation and like, you know, like being very open about it, like I could do that. It wouldn't be that scary. But if I take like Kayla and like we like go somewhere, I would never open up to you. Like probably not like to Thomas, Mark, anyone. Like one-on-one, I'd be way too scared to do it. But if we did it as a group, I'd be able to do it.
I sort of felt the same way when it comes to like having only intimacy in a relationship, because when I was in a relationship, I could only like focus on that one person, and all my like intimacy or emotional awareness, emotional intelligence like went towards like that one person. But then after the breakup, that's when I really found myself in like a tough spot. That's when I really needed people, needed like presence. You know what I mean? Because after breakup, it feels like there's like a little hole like in your heart, and then I guess the natural tendency is to fill that hole up again. And so that's when I started to, I guess, look for it in like other people or multiple people that wasn't that one person. And then that's when I sort of like became more intimate towards all of them. You know, instead of putting this into like one person, I started putting it in all my friends. And it's like slowly but surely, like it took one step at a time. Like first I started with like being grateful, gratitude, just remembering everything that they did. And then like, cause do you guys say I love you to your friends?
Yeah, I say all the time.
Yeah, I never did that.
I don't say it all the time, but I say it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like in the beginning, it would feel weird.
Yeah,
you're
right?
like, oh my god, that's all like weird.
I love it.
I know, because
I'll say it to strangers even. Like
okay,
No,
I'll say
yeah.
it to strangers if I'm like
in a loving mood.
if I'm
not in the right state of mind.
yeah, if
Oh,
I'm
really?
not in the right state of
okay.
mind, I am so like, I love you. Like I'm so just like,
I'll hug everybody.
yeah, I like give
Okay.
compliments.
Yeah, for sure.
I just like, yeah, I'm just out there. But it does feel weird in the
Yeah.
beginning to be like, okay, good night, like
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never said I love you back to like my friends. Like they said I love you. I'm like,
yeah,
man.
Thanks.
thank you so much.
Just same, okay?
Yeah.
But then I just said it, and it like felt really, really good. It felt super good. And then so I just started saying it to the people that really mattered and that I really care about.
Yeah.
Kyle, aren't you like ever scared that, like, let's say, if the relationship doesn't work out, like, who do you turn to?
Yes.
Do you just internalize
I was just
every-
about to ask that because
Yeah.
like if you're like only going to like one person for like intimacy, like do you think if if it were to ever happen, like if that relationship were to like end or whatever, then would you be forced to like in turn give that intimacy to like your friends, like how Mark did? Or do you think you would just like search for another relationship to like fill that?
Oh shit.
I know the answer.
Stop.
Well, it's very obvious that I find a lot of my like love in relationships because I can't do it in friendships. So if like this relationship I'm currently in were to like fall apart, go away, yes, I'm like so terrified that I would like fall into like a deep depression because I would just feel so alone. Like I genuinely like think like I would be left with this big issue of not feeling close to anyone, feeling very alone. And it's why I'm always rambling about how lonely I am. And I think the reason a lot of my loneliness and my feelings of loneliness comes from the fact that I can't bond with people. Like it's so hard for me to bond with people in an intimate way. So I feel like I'd be like paralyzed. Like I know I would have to do something, but I'm just like so scared to do it, and it might just not lead to great things. So yeah, it would be really, really difficult.
Have you ever considered going to like therapy for it?
Yes. Oh my God, I would
Have
love
you
to go to
gone?
therapy.
Oh, you haven't.
No, I haven't. Like I've been the biggest advocate of going to fucking therapy since like freshman fucking year.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. But obviously there's a lot of barriers and things that have discouraged me from going. But if I could go to therapy, I really would. Like I want to go to therapy. Like I think I'm gonna start looking into it because there's a lot of sliding scales that make it more affordable. But yeah. But the thing that's weird is that I almost don't even want to fix it because I'm so scared. I'm too scared to fix it because I know if I go to therapy, I'm going to be forced to face it, and I don't want to do that. So then why would I go to therapy? Because I'm too scared to do it. So I'd rather just ignore it. But yeah, no, it's a really scary thing. It sucks. But yeah, I think that appreciation of like saying I love you to friends is like a really good thing. Like I know like you said it to me and it was very different. I'm like, he never does this.
Right?
He never does this. And I never do that. I never respond back. But afterwards I was like, that did feel really nice. Like instantly I felt like 1,000 times closer.
Aw, how cute. Say I love you to your friends.
Do it.
Yeah.
But I'm still not going to do it because I'm too scared.
Or
I'm
don't.
too fucking scared. And it's like, it feels like I'm just paralyzed. Like I'm going to like cry out of frustration because I feel so paralyzed.
Not even like an illy, like an ILY.
Really?
I guess I could try, but it's weird. And that's why like I admire people that are able to say it openly. Like,
Right?
Isaac is one of those people. He is very
Yeah,
affectionate.
right?
Super affectionate.
Yes. One of the things that I like really liked about Isaac is that he was very affectionate with his friends.
Yeah.
I like admired that.
Always knew how to show his
Yes.
love.
Yes.
He is the one who
Aw.
like wasn't afraid of intimacy issues ever.
Exactly.
yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah. So I admire people who can do that. I'm like, yeah, it's wild. And I think that's why people that like openly share their love, like I love you, like I appreciate you, oh my God, like you're so amazing, that give lots of compliments, are able to make friends so much faster because people just feel good around them, like they trust them.
Mhm.
Like no one's gonna trust me because I don't ever talk about myself. I'm just like kind of like a shell. But yeah, intimacy issues.
Whole time I was like trying to figure out like, why is Kyle this way? I don't have an answer. I usually I always try to find, even though it's like so unsolicited, like I'll try and find reasons as to why someone's the way they are.
Right.
But with that, I really don't know why.
I
I can't pinpoint it.
Sometimes I'm like, is it because I was in like a long-term relationship when I was young and I developed my like intimacy through you and never had to rely on like having that from friends? Who fucking knows?
Like even before, like not even with your parents or your siblings.
No, I'm not intimate with anyone. I'm so scared of opening up. Holy shit.
I don't know. I feel like I was able to like be intimate with people before that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
Because the weird thing is like, it'll be good for you, and you're gonna enjoy yourself a lot more if you are vulnerable with like your friends and stuff. But you just can't bring yourself to do
I
it.
just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'll just like
I don't know.
I'll just like look at them the whole time and be like, I really wish I could talk to you and tell you how I feel. Like I really
Do
want
you ever
to
get
tell
like sudden
you
urges to?
I
Yes.
know, right?
Because I
Those-
get sudden urges a lot.
to like
Me
overshare.
too.
And tell
Yeah,
them,
I'm like,
yes.
I'm sad.
yeah, right. I'm like, I kind of want to tell you something I've never said before. Like,
Because those conversations are so much more fun.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is fun. It is. Very
Like
fun.
it's so much more fun when you're like, okay, let's like, stop talking about this like superficial shit and like actually say like how we're feeling, what's going on. But I can't do it. So I just like I'm like listening to them speak and I'm like, wow, I wish I could tell you, but I can't. And then I feel really frustrated afterwards.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
Yeah.
I feel it with my mom, like
Mm.
being intimate with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I do want to tell you, like, how much I love you and appreciate you, and I want to do all these, like, good things. But then when it actually comes to, I'm like, I'm sure she already knows. I'm
She
sure she
doesn't.
understands. And she might does,
Go
but like,
tell her.
yeah,
tell
no.
her.
She, like, all moms deserve to hear all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It really builds up inside you. Like I
Yeah.
feel it.
mhm.
Oh my
I
God,
bet.
as said
Like
that.
I don't know how you can do it.
No,
like,
it-
don't you
it-
have just so much love to give to everybody?
Yes, it feels like I'm like you're like so exhausted of holding yourself back. Like even sometimes I'm like, why don't I just tell my mom I'm like gay or something and come
Yeah.
out? Like I'm so tired of like putting the energy towards like hiding it or just not saying it, resisting the urge. And resisting the urge to be intimate is really, really tiring. And that's why sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I just want to like say something, but then I
Mhm.
can't.
Do you feel safe when you don't?
Yes, I feel safe when I
You feel
don't. It just seems
comfortable?
easier. It's like, okay, I just
Easier?
don't have to worry about that right now.
Is it like fear of judgment? Or?
No, I'm just scared.
Okay.
He's scared.
I'm
He's just
fucking
paralyzed by
terrified.
fear.
I can't do it. I'm paralyzed.
It's just so
Yeah.
crazy. Like it's very ironic how you have this podcast. And
Right?
You're just
Mhm.
It's this podcast is the opposite. Maybe I only feel validated doing it if I have an excuse for myself. And that's why I feel fine doing it in the podcast, but not like, when I don't have an excuse. Like I don't see myself as like, I feel like maybe I need an excuse to share my feelings, and that's why I do this, because it's an outlet where I can have an excuse.
And but in romantic relationships, you use that as an excuse because they're
Yeah,
romantic.
I guess so. Yeah, huh?
But with friendships,
It's like,
it's
there's no
not
point.
that big of an excuse.
I guess so.
Do you think
Okay.
friendships have to be intimate?
Not all of them, but the important ones.
Do you think you have important friendships that need intimacy?
If I want to have a deeper relationship.
Do
So
you
as of
have?
right now, you don't.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
is there-
Okay.
Oh,
that's what I was
okay.
trying
No,
to get at.
I
Okay.
do not have a single
Mm.
friendship that's like on a deep level, one-on-one.
or not one that you want to.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I would love to be deeply friends with like all my friends. Yeah, like obviously I want to.
The thing is, he's just like he's in his head about it. Like you just
Yeah,
Can't
that
bring
too.
yourself
And
to
sometimes
do it.
I feel like I just don't like if I could pinpoint one thing in my life that if I could what's the word? Like if I could change that, like I feel like would have like the biggest positive effect on me is like an intimate one-on-one relationship with another individual. So like not because my whole life I've had like groups of friends, like groups and groups and
Mhm.
groups, but I never just had like one person.
Like one best friend.
Yeah, that's just like just one intimate relationship. So when I achieve that, I think it would be a great day. But yeah, I hope someday I solve my intimacy issues. That would make the world a
Yeah.
better place.
so much better.
It would. It
Mhm.
really would. It really would.
Mhm.
I need to learn how to do that. Until then, I will just live a long, lonely life and get my validation from relationships.
Relationships.
Oh, relationship.
No, I'm just-
Why not just marry one person? It's the best friend you'll have for the rest of your life.
Like a lot of your issues are like it's like kind of tied in together. You know what I mean? Like how
Let's
you
tie it.
want to not settle on one person, but rather like experience relationships with multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can only experience intimacy in relationships, and how you also have like commitment issues.
Mhm.
It's like all kind of tied in together.
In a way, I could
Yeah.
tie it up under one umbrella.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
therapy would be good.
Too sexy and desirable by everyone.
Oh, so
I don't
true.
like that.
I know.
I didn't want to say it.
I know, guys. It's a privilege to be in a gay relationship. Really is, though.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
A healthy one at that. The fuck?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's not like grooming behavior. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening. If you have intimacy issues, that's okay. Me and you both.
Try to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to therapy. Go
If
to
you
therapy. God,
Yeah.
this is so hard. I don't want to do this.
I mean, wait. Have you ever like done it before and then regretted it?
Oh,
Like, has that
No,
ever
I've
happened?
never regretted it. I know I feel good, and that's what's so frustrating. Like, imagine it's like you don't have free will.
So
Imagine
you haven't had a
wanting to
bad
do something.
experience with being vulnerable.
No, it's not trauma based. Like, if it's like frustrating because it's like you don't even have free will. It's like you want to do something so bad, but you feel paralyzed by this doubt, and you just feel paralyzed, and it makes you feel like I can't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I
ugh.
felt.
Yeah, it's scary. But anyways, guys, you can go follow us on Discord, teenagetherapy.com. Click the Discord symbol, and you can join our Discord. At Teenage Therapy on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat too. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.